Okay, this video is called Does Atheistic Medicine Promote Cannibalism? And by the way, atheism is the standard in the United States universities now. A biology professor can get fired if they talk about intelligent design and creation. By the way, I majored in biology at Stanford, A+ student, and I believe that intelligent design and creation is a much more likely explanation for the origin of life on Earth. And that's based on extensive study. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If you study it, you'll come to that same conclusion. Okay, so anyways, what's the point of this lecture? That abortion of healthy babies for convenience is the routine in America. I'm not talking about a very sick baby. There's good medical reasons why sometimes that's appropriate, okay? But I'm talking about routine abortion of healthy babies. And it's claimed by those who recommend this that, well, the baby's not really a real human, okay? Well, all right, fine. But then they take that baby and they very often sell parts of its body to be made into medications to be used for research. And somebody then will eat those medications, and I would ask the question, is that cannibalism to eat medications made from an aborted baby? Now, most dietitians in most universities promote a Mediterranean diet, and they claim that the Mediterranean diet is healthy. That's what's done at most Ivy League schools and most of the so-called famous, so-called top-notch universities in the United States. I can tell you, anybody who promotes a Mediterranean diet is either an ignoramus, an idiot, or a liar. It's a terrible diet. But it is what is promoted. You just look it up. You'll see it's promoted at all these places. And now I'm going to make the point, well, if a healthy baby is not really a human, then it's just another mammal. It's just meat. Why not feed the healthy baby that's been aborted to poor people? You know, why not feed old people when they die, their cadavers, to the poor people? Okay, that would be a way to save a lot of money. And if you think atheism is correct, then there's no moral or medical or scientific argument against that. Why not? If you think it's wrong, you just feel that in your gut. Maybe you do believe in God. And let's take a look at the biblical worldview. The biblical worldview says that man is created in the image of God and therefore humans are part divine. And here it is, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So if God created man in his own image, in the image of God, he created he him. Male and female created he them. Okay, there it is from the Bible, Genesis. And I want to share with you now a quote by Fyodor Dostoevsky, the great Russian writer of the 1800s. He said, if there is no God, then everything is permitted, even cannibalism. Okay, that comes from the book Brothers Karamazov, okay? From Ivan, the intellectual brother who ended up sort of messing up his own life and that for other people. It's a great book. My favorite character is Alyosha, of course. Now, Dostoevsky continues, if you were to destroy in mankind the belief in immortality, not only love, but every living force maintaining the life of the world would be at once dried up. Okay, I'm just going to ad-lib a little bit here from Dinesh D'Souza had a fantastic quote. He says, what is the definition of heaven? Life with Christ. What is the definition of hell? Life without Christ. Okay, and if you look at that closely and study it, you'll see there's a lot of wisdom in that statement. Yeah, obviously it's more complicated than that, but there is wisdom in that statement. Okay, Dostoevsky continues. There is nothing more beautiful, more profound, more sympathetic, more reasonable, more courageous, and more perfect than Christ. Even those who renounce Christianity and criticize it, in their innermost being, they still try to follow the Christian ideal. No one has been able to create a higher ideal of man and virtue than the ideal given by Christ. If they drive God from the earth, we shall shelter him underground. Fyodor Dostoevsky, 1821 to 1881. Okay, that's a profound, strong statement there. And basically, look at Russia, okay? Russia basically destroyed itself when it became atheist, and essentially, like, it just destroyed itself. You know, after, you know, the Russian Revolution around, 1918, it just went into the garbage can. Russia in the 1800s had lots of great art, lots of great literature, and it just had pretty much nothing the last century. Okay, and that applies to other countries. You know, Christianity welcomes everybody, allows every other thing. Everybody's welcome and can find their place in it or related to it or something. It's not going to be that harsh. But once you get rid of man created in the image of God, then he no longer has any rights whatsoever, and that becomes a big deal. And if this idea of feeding healthy babies to people as food sounds harsh to you, it gets a lot worse than that. You haven't looked at it closely. Wait till you start studying it. You'll be amazed at all the terrible things that happen once you separate man from being created in the image of God. You can't even imagine how bad it is. So anyways.